What's going on, everybody? It is your boy, that Irish dude, and the New York Ranter. We are here, kind of like a newish setup, kind of, you look there, this is cool, I know. Stop it. But yeah, so as you can see, we got a little slideshow going. Kind of gonna do a little longer video because I've been gone for a minute. Sorry about that. School has been absolutely brutal. So we're gonna kind of go over like an overview of stuff and things like that. If you want any specifics, let me know. We could always talk about it. Things like that. So, starting off, what I do want to discuss first, the world of MMA, sports, boxing, things like that, so on and so forth. So, back in October and things like that, Anthony Lionheart Smith had a fantastic win over Volkan Ozdemir with a round, I believe it was a round 2 or round 3 submission victory, which is absolutely fantastic for Anthony Smith. Congratulations to him. You earned that. It was a fantastic fight. Next on that list was the probably in my opinion, probably the biggest story to come to MMA in a long time. The trade of Ben Askren for Demetrius Johnson. ONE FC and UFC came to an agreement, and Ben Askren will now be debuting against Robbie Lawler in Inglewood, I believe it's Inglewood, California. UFC 233, which is going to be a fantastic fight, and it's slated to be such a good card. I'm hoping, the rumor main event's going to be Tyron Woodley versus Colby Covington. You got TJ Dillashaw versus Henry Cejudo, Robbie Lawler, Ben Askren, Dominic Cruz, Dominic Cruz on the card. So I think you have such a good card in the making right now, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And Dominic Cruz would be fighting John Lineker. So again, great card. Sounds great. Awesome. One championship. They got Demetrius Johnson, who's pound for pound probably the best fighter on the planet. Just 11 title defenses, holds the record in the UFC. He's done everything he's wanted to do and did it with force, so more power to him. And then not too long after that, November 3rd, Madison Square Garden, Daniel Cormier versus Derek Lewis, Chris Weidman versus Jacare. It was an awesome card. It was an amazing event. I did post a Daniel Cormier walkout, so I hope you guys got a chance to check that out. It was so surreal. To see a guy who works so hard become the champion, defend the title, and then becomes a 2-division champion, defends that title at Madison Square Garden. I mean, man, you can't get that much better than that, And leading right into that, UFC 231, Max Holloway versus Brian Ortega. It's gonna be fireworks. I encourage everybody, if you're new to the sport, go watch that fight. Go watch that event if you can. The co-main event's gonna be I'm assuming a great Muay Thai fight with Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Valentina Shevchenko for the vacant women's flyweight title. It's gonna be awesome. I just think the card in general is going to be great. But those two title fights in general, just, perfection. Perfection. So, moving on from that, boxing. Actually, since this is as of December 1st, Deontay Wilder is going to be defending the WBC heavyweight title. And this is boxing now, ladies and gentlemen. The WBC heavyweight title, which is one of the, main boxing titles. It's the WBC, just a bunch of them, right? And he's going to be fighting Tyson Fury, which, big grudge match. It's pretty good, but, the winner of this fight essentially is going to be fighting Anthony Joshua, who holds all the other heavyweight titles. So it's going to be a unification bout, hopefully mid to early next year is what I'm thinking is going to happen. My money's on Deontay Wilder. Just a lot of power. He's got huge amount of power. But Tyson Fury does have a little bit of better technique, but I don't think he's going to be able to hang with Deontay Wilder's power. I don't see it happening. So yeah, and that's kind of where I wanted to leave it off again. Congratulations to Kamaru Usman last night for defeating Rafael dos Anjos in a dominant victory. And that kind of leads into a topic I'm going to discuss in a separate video, and that's going to be discussing the idea of, like, weight cutting and things like that. And should fighters move up in weight and cut less weight? Or should they try to still cut as much as possible and, be the bigger guy? It's controversial, but it is something I do want to discuss, and I want more time for that, especially since I don't have the most time right now in this video. But that's a separate video for another day. But moving on, we're gonna go into WWE a little bit because a lot of stuff's been going on. The Crown Jewel event did happen. Even with the controversy surrounding it and the whole Saudi assassination and things like that, the event still went on. A lot of superstars did pull out, but a lot were still there. So the event apparently went off well, things like that, whatever. I don't agree with the event because I think if you're going to try to... If something has happened in a country and it affects your people, and you're going to... And this event happens in a different country where you're going to be, conducting business, conduct your business and all, that's... it's not the greatest business decision, and it makes you look bad as a company. It makes you look greedy, and you don't want to seem greedy to a viewer base that, one, is a lot of younger teens. Obviously they're not going to realize it, but their parents who are paying for the WWE network, all that stuff, they're going to realize, a lot of businesses did pull out of Saudi Arabia. It's just not right. But it happened, whatever, it's done. But a bigger story is the rise of Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch, who, a year ago was kind of like, if I was going to put it in UFC terms, like undercard. And now she's like the one. She's the man, and more power to her. She turned heel, has this persona of being a badass, right? Where she, beats everybody up. She's the man, all that stuff, just no mercy, whatever, right? Fantastic. Good for you, because that is what you need to do. You have the crowd, and you're a heel. So it's kind of hard to be a heel and have the crowd, but it does work. So more power to Becky Lynch. I'm so happy for her. She's a fantastic athlete, a wonderful Irish woman, someone who stays traditional and things like that. And yeah, just congratulate. I'm over ecstatic. And if I do look at WWE updates, it's because of Becky Lynch. So, fantastic, right? And now to branch off a little bit, we're going to go with October. October, TwitchCon happened. And now, while there were some wonderful highlights, the Fortnite tournament, congratulations to Tfue and FaZe for that. And there were some, great interactions and things like that. I wish I was there. I'm sorry I wasn't. But we do have something to discuss. Twitch streamer, Twitch affiliate, whose name I will not mention, because I don't believe he deserves it, thinks he's above the rest, and things like that. And he put out, and you guys could search it up. I'm not going to post it. I'm not going to do anything like that to spread the negativity. I'm only offering my opinion. This is my rant on it, because that's what this show is about. I think when you look at, someone being interviewed in the public eye, I think, especially when they're not prepared, yes, you can make mistakes and things like that. But when you say something that stupid, where you say, I believe I'm above my viewers, and, all this and all that, and blah, 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 and you say, such stupid things. What? What? I'm sorry, but your viewers are the reason why you're there. And this dude, who's not even partner, doesn't have over 15,000 followers, or whatever his stats were at the time, I don't really care, is saying he has this, God complex, and things like that. And if you looked at his channel before he changed everything, and he did change everything, let's make that clear, right? He changed everything. And then for him to, this was all out of criticism. If he wasn't up there, this dude wouldn't have changed it. His mentality wouldn't change. And he claims in his tweet that, it's because of the mentality he has when he's growing up and things like that. And I read the tweet, the tweet that he put out. My opinion, it did not feel sincere in any way whatsoever, shape, or ever. So shame on you. Shame on you for dissing your community. You think that you're above them all, and you say you don't think that, but we all know you do, buddy. We all know you do. So, when you make a statement like that, right? I'm sorry, but and I'll say it again. Your community is the reason why you're there. And I bet you, sir, that you lost a lot of your members. So you know what? I'm happy because the community that I have, while it may not be as big, are loyal. I'm loyal to them. I know them all personally, and I care about each and every one of them when they step in. Because it's a family. You care about your family. And I know streamers bigger than you, much bigger than you by quadruple the numbers, even double the numbers, or whatever, that care about every member that comes in. So you can have your mindset, but it doesn't belong on the internet. Get that stuff somewhere else. I almost slipped. Whew! Okay. But in better news, Red Dead Redemption has come out, and Fallout 76 has come out. But we're gonna discuss Red Dead first. What a fantastic game! A game that really feels like a 10 out of 10 and probably going to be game of the year in my opinion. It does everything right. You know, they just released the online. It feels great. It's a little clunky, you know, here and there, whatever, but it's a wonderful game. And I encourage anybody this holiday season to pick it up. You know, and I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. They ain't pay for this. You know, I genuinely believe that Red Dead Redemption 2, probably one of the greatest games, and I would say arguably of this generation of games, because it really does do everything right. It has a complex but a wonderful story. And yes, we're talking also about Red Dead Redemption 1 in comparison. The online service is great right now. You have a wonderful community backing it, but the story is great, the graphics are great, the gameplay is great. And no game is perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect game. While I am looking forward to Kingdom Hearts 3, and I'm probably expecting a perfect game, probably won't be that, which is fine. But, and while I think the only criticism I would have with Red Dead Redemption 2 is that the controls seem a little sluggish, but beyond that, and that might just be my opinion, I don't care. And some people might think it's so sharp and it's great. I see it as a little sluggish. So, but overall, like, I gave the game a 10 out of 10 because I can overlook a little tiny bit of sluggishness. So, wonderful, and it puts a smile on my face talking about things because it's great. But, let's talk about the big downfall of the year, Fallout 76. A lot of people expect, I think, when Bethesda started talking about Fallout 76, especially at E3, and they said, oh, well, you can nuke your teammates, stuff like this, blah, 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 blah. I think we expected a very high-end, polished game that was pretty much Fallout 4, but on a different map, a bigger map, with multiplayer and nuclear bombs. We definitely didn't get a lot of those things. We got a sluggish multiplayer that has horrible connectivity, a boring story, terrible gameplay. You know, it doesn't add up. So, I think if Bethesda goes back and they patch a lot of stuff up, then it'll be okay. But they definitely did let us down as a community. So, I'm glad I didn't pick up Fallout 76. I know I said to, potentially go and pick it up. But I did say also be a little hesitant on it, and I was right. But it is what it is. There's nothing you can do. It is a game. No game is ever going to be perfect. Like I said about Red Dead Redemption 2, there's no such thing as a perfect game. But Fallout 76 did definitely miss its mark. And that's very sad because a lot of people had high expectations for it. But it's done. It is what it is. My second to last topic. Earlier in November, since it's now December, we're going to say last month, thank God, was elections. Now, I'm not going to say my political affiliation or anything like that. It's not my business. It's not something I like discussing. I don't like discussing politics, so I'm only going to do it once. And if election night comes back in 2 years and we're still around, then we're going to, we'll discuss it again. But how dare you, politicians, and this goes for almost every single one of you. Credit to those that didn't do this, but shame on all of you that did do this, but talk trash about your opponent and not talk about what you're going to do for your area or your state or your town, whatever. Either you're running for a senator's seat or a representative seat or even the seat for the governor. What most politicians did, and I picked up on this, and I followed, and I was very keen on it, is how dare you talk trash about your opponent and not talk about what you're going to do. Most of the TV ads, and I want you to go back, you behind the computer screen. I want you to go back, take a look at the political ads if you want. Find me political ads that talked about what they're gonna do for their area, and that they don't say a single thing about what their opponent has done or is planning on doing. His shame on these people who, these political advisors say, oh yeah, well, let me think about this, huh? Let's put a commercial out and let's talk trash about our opponent. That's not what this country was founded on. This country was founded on the idea of, okay, you're going to have two people run. Well, who's got the better idea for the public eye? And you campaign on that. You don't campaign and say, you know, let's hypothetically, let's say Mark Molinaro versus Andrew Cuomo, which was for the governor's seat in New York. Let's say Cuomo says, oh, well, Mark Molinaro is a crazy socialist who blah, 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 blah. And Molinaro goes back and says, well, Cuomo's a socialist, blah, blah, blah. And then you're voting based on that. How dare you? How dare you try to blindside this country? That's wrong. So shame on you. And that's everything about my political. That's why I just don't like politics. It's just too much now. It's our forefathers are rolling in their graves for that, for what has become of politics. But done with all the hatred and things like that, and let's have some good vibes, right? It's holiday season, folks. And I want to reflect a little bit. I'm very grateful, and Thanksgiving passed, so I do want to discuss a little bit what I was thankful for this year. I was very, very thankful for the community I have behind my back that care, and I care about them so much. They're like an extended family, and I really, you know, at the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for being who you are and choosing to support me as I support you all. And I do my best to interact. And yes, school has been kicking my ass, but I try to check up once in a while. And you guys are the best. You make me laugh. I laugh with you. We make memories together. I have memories with almost everybody. And for those who don't, we will be making memories. I'm thankful for my family who supports me. I'm thankful for my friends. You know, I'm thankful, you know, for my best friend. And you know who you are. So thank you. Thank you for everything you all do. And yeah. And then after Thanksgiving, Christmas! Probably my favorite holiday of the year. It's the holiday season, folks. Don't be afraid to give it. Don't be afraid to go out of your way to do stuff for people. It goes a long way when you do something for someone. You know, let's say you do something, like, let's say they got to get a gift for someone, and you get it for them, and, you know, whatever, right? You know, it's just the act of giving. And I think that's something that we don't realize as much anymore, and I think that's something we really do need to touch up on. Give back. Give back to the people who care about you. Give. While, yes, it's wonderful to receive and things like that, always give back. It's about love, care, giving back to the people who you care about the most, right? Like, I love my family. I always give to them. So, it's all about just that act of caring. Being together as a family on Christmas Eve. You know, I know what it's like to work on Christmas Eve, and it sucks. But it's all about being with your family. Singing songs, even though that sounds corny, singing songs, watching movies, eating dinner together even. With your cousins, with people who you care about. Go, be with them. Well, yes, it's great to game and game afterwards. I love gaming. I love video games. I love martial arts. So what am I going to do? Christmas morning, I'm going to celebrate. And this is the 24th, not the 25th I'm talking about. So Christmas Eve, I'm going to sit with my family for a little bit. I'm going to enjoy my time with them. I'm going to go work out, do what I got to do. And after that, the rest of the day, I'm with them. I'll probably be away from social media. I'll probably put out a Christmas tweet or whatever. And then Christmas Day will come around. Spend breakfast with all my family, which we do as a tradition. We all come together Christmas Eve night, Christmas Day morning, Christmas Day dinner. Even lunch sometimes. You know? So, spend it with your family. Because you don't know how long you're going to have them around. You don't know how long you're going to be around. Make every Christmas worth it. So, good vibes only. I hope you guys enjoyed my little rant-ish video of episode 3. I'm sorry I've been gone for so long. I got some content coming your guys' way that I got to work on. And yeah, got a couple unboxing videos coming. You guys are going to like that. And yeah, thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys on the next New York Ranter, or maybe an unboxing video. Who knows? But I'll see you guys. Peace.